The story of Charlie Chaplin is not just the tale of a famous actor or comedian. It is the journey of a man who lived through darkness, endured deep suffering, and turned pain into art. It is a testament to the Stoic truth that while we cannot control what happens to us, we can always control how we respond. Charlie Chaplin was born on April 16, 1889, in London. His parents were stage performers, living modestly in the world of music halls and theater. But soon, life began to strip away every comfort. His father, consumed by alcohol, abandoned the family. His mother, though gifted as a singer, was left alone to care for Charlie and his half-brother Sidney. Poverty consumed them. There were nights without food. His mother would pretend to eat just so her children could have a little more. They moved from one cold, dirty room to another, always fearing eviction. Yet Charlie, still a child, found reasons to smile. That is the essence of resilience, not in avoiding hardship, but in maintaining inner strength despite it. One fateful night, when his mother lost her voice on stage and the audience jeered, 5-year-old Charlie walked out in her place. He sang, he danced, and he made them laugh. That moment, the boy understood something that would shape his life forever. Joy is a gift you give, even when you yourself have none. But fate was not done testing him. His mother's mental health declined rapidly, and she was eventually committed to an asylum. Charlie and his brother were sent to the workhouses, institutions for the destitute, where they were separated and treated harshly. Charlie was only 7 years old. He endured labor, hunger, cold, and loneliness. When he finally returned to his mother, she barely recognized him. He cried, but he did not collapse. Even in that pain, he held onto a single dream: to perform, to make people laugh, and to lift others from sorrow, even if he himself lived in it. As a teenager, he took whatever jobs he could find, washing dishes, delivering newspapers, making toys, but his heart belonged to the stage. He watched street performers, studied their timing and expressions, and began performing on the streets himself. People ignored him at first, but he did not give up. Slowly, his ability to make others laugh drew attention. At the age of 14, he joined a group called the 8 Lancashire Lads. It wasn't a leading role, but Charlie treated it like the beginning of everything. He practiced harder than anyone else. His movements became precise. His expressions spoke volumes, even without words. A director saw him and said, "This boy is different." At 16, Charlie landed a major role in the stage play Sherlock Holmes. He was no longer a street child. He was an actor in real theaters, in front of real audiences. In 1910, opportunity knocked in the form of America. He joined Fred Carno's comedy troupe and sailed across the Atlantic. The U.S. was new, loud, energetic, full of possibility. And in 1913, he got a small role in a silent film at Keystone Studios. It was here that Charlie made a decision that changed cinema forever. He created a character, a small man in oversized clothes, a tight coat, bowler hat, tiny mustache, and a peculiar walk. That character became the Tramp, one of the most iconic figures in film history. The audience didn't understand him at first, but Charlie didn't explain, he performed. Without uttering a word, he made the world laugh, and it listened. By 1917, Charlie Chaplin wasn't just famous, he was a global phenomenon. People lined up for hours to see his films. His face appeared on posters, newspapers, and in every country. But inside, Charlie was still the hungry boy from London streets. He had not forgotten, and because of that, he worked harder than ever. He wanted more than fame, he wanted control. In a time when actors were mere puppets of studios, Charlie declared, "No one will control me. I will create my films, my way." In 1918, he founded Chaplin Studios, becoming one of the first truly independent filmmakers in history. He controlled the scripts, the direction, the acting, and even composed the music. Every detail mattered. He didn't make movies to entertain, he made them to endure. In 1921, he released The Kid. It was not just comedy. It was his story. A tale of a poor man and an orphan boy. Filled with laughter and heartbreak. Audiences laughed. Audiences cried. Charlie proved that cinema could move hearts and change lives. While most actors were paid $10 a week, Charlie was earning $1 million per film. He became the richest, most powerful actor in the world. Yet his past kept him grounded. He remembered hunger. He remembered his mother in the asylum. He never stopped working, never compromised on quality, never chased shortcuts. When talking films emerged in the late 1920s, everyone told him to abandon silent film. But Charlie stood firm. He believed emotion was greater than dialogue. In 1931, he released City Lights, a silent masterpiece in the age of sound. Its final scene, where the tramp looks at a blind girl, remains one of the most powerful moments in film history. Charlie proved, you don't need words to move a soul. Then came the rise of Adolf Hitler. Strangely, Hitler's mustache resembled Charlie's iconic look. People made comparisons. Charlie, instead of avoiding it, confronted it. In 1940, he made The Great Dictator, his first full talking film. In its final scene, he delivered one of the most profound speeches ever recorded, a plea for humanity, reason, and peace. It became legendary, but some in America disliked his political boldness. They accused him of treason, spread lies, and eventually, in 1952, forced him out of the country. Charlie left quietly and settled in Switzerland. He lived simply, reading, writing, spending time with his children. The world never forgot him. In 1972, Hollywood finally realized their mistake. They invited him back and honored him at the Oscars with the longest standing ovation in history, 12 minutes of unbroken applause. The boy who once had nothing had changed the world. On December 25, 1977, Charlie passed away in his sleep. It was Christmas Day. The world mourned. The man who made humanity laugh was gone. But his story did not end there. 3 months later, grave robbers stole his body and demanded $600 in ransom. His widow, Una, refused. She said, Charlie would have laughed at this. The thieves were eventually caught, and his body was reburied, this time in reinforced concrete. Charlie Chaplin's genius didn't extend only to film. He was a complex man in love. He married 4 times. His first 3 marriages ended painfully. People said, he can make the world happy, but not himself. But then he met Una O'Neill. He was 54. She was 18. Despite criticism, they found real happiness. She stood by him when the world turned against him. They had 8 children. For the first time, Charlie had a family. He spent his final 25 years in Switzerland, walking in his garden, watching his old films, reflecting on his life. Sometimes he laughed at scenes he'd filmed decades earlier. Even in solitude, he was content. He had lived with purpose. He had endured. He had created. Charlie Chaplin's life is proof of a Stoic truth. Happiness is not about luxury or ease, but about strength of character. He faced poverty, rejection, betrayal, and exile, but he remained true to himself. He didn't seek pity. He didn't surrender. He created beauty from pain, laughter from grief, and inspiration from suffering. He once said, "A day without laughter is a day wasted." But for Charlie, laughter wasn't escape. It was resistance. It was power. It was proof that even when the world is cruel, we can choose how we respond. You too can choose. You can suffer, but not be broken. You can be poor, but rich in spirit. You can be rejected, but never silenced. If Charlie Chaplin could rise from the gutters of London to become a timeless legend, then so can you. Dream boldly, work relentlessly, endure quietly, and live your life with grace, no matter what the world throws at you. Charlie Chaplin is gone, but his lessons, his films, and his spirit will never die.